Probably one of the biggest terms on TikTok and YouTube, etc., is what is mixing, or how do I find my mix? People actually define mixing in so many different ways. That's why it's so hard to get a handle on. You will realize there's no such thing as mixing. There's how you mix in different elements of your voice to create all these different sounds. So if we were to zoom out for a second, what is going on at the level of the vocal folds versus what is going on at the level of the vocal tract? Your vocal folds are this multi-layered structure. And so you can control how long they are, how short they are, how thin they are versus how thick they are, and how adducted or closed they are, meaning how much airflow you're allowing through them. So those are the three things you're always playing with there. What I encourage people to do is on every pitch, instead of thinking like your chest lives here, and your mix lives here, and your head lives here, and your falsetto lives above that, flip that. And on each pitch and on each vowel, try to go from breathy to quiet, non-breathy, to then slightly talky with some brightness, slightly talky with some brightness and some yelliness. Something else is how bright or how dark it is. The way you control that is the length and the width of the vocal tract. So you can lengthen the vocal tract by protruding your lips, or you can also slightly move your jaw forward, not jutting it out, but dropping it down and forward. You can also lengthen your vocal tract by lowering your larynx. Yeah, so that's how you lengthen the tube that way. You can also widen the pharynx, like thinking like a gasp of surprise, or sometimes moving the jaw back. That might make the sound darker because you can expand the upper part of the pharynx. Or you can make it less twangy. So think of like more British versus American. The final thing, some people refer to mixing as the degree of nasality in the tone. And that's what you're controlling with how much airflow is going into your nose. On one pitch, let's play around with the options. You could do, hey, 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 like a Mickey Mouse Pinocchio sound, a falsetto. Hey, but there's a lot of air moving through that tone. Yeah? So the vocal folds are not totally closing. Hey. Now, if I just close them, the upper layers of and say yay as quiet as possible. Those are your thin vocal folds, okay? If you just switch over to what would be seeing a long lost friend backstage, and you can't exactly yell, but you're like, hey, 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 hey. The tiniest indicator that you're in thick folds. That's the biggest shift over. How you amplify that is either by adding more like Fozzie Bear twanginess, or a hint of yelly. So let me model that. You can have hey, hey, or yay, or hey, or hey, or hey. That's easier to do because it's an amplification of upper thick folds, not hey. That is driving too much of your chest voice. Now let's add our third dimension. If I go hey, 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 it has that sort of like slightly nasalized belting. It's taking the edge off the full yell because I'm losing air into my nose. Most of these people that you're working with, let's say they're a casting director or a director, they're not a vocalist themselves. So they don't have necessarily the language or the internal landscape of all these options to even translate. You can start to infer, oh, if they're wanting it a little more Kristen Chenoweth-y, do they want a smaller, shorter vocal tract that's brighter and some nasality? Because that's different than Sutton Fostery or Kelly O'Hara. But each of those folks could say, well, one is head mix dominant, more legit, classically inspired golden age. All that stuff you hear, try to infer what they mean and play with giving them options along that. I'm sure you have lots of questions, so please, let's have a great conversation in the comments below and continue the conversation. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.